What's happening, guys? We're back. We're gonna be cutting into the chassis today. All right, we're back in the shop this week. I don't have a pile of time to spend out here, but I do have a bit. So we're gonna be continuing on the steering shaft today. We got the upper steering column section done a couple weeks ago, and now we're gonna move on to the lower shaft section. The middle piece is just a straight chunk, so we're gonna leave that till the end and basically just connect the U-joints wherever they lie. So the bottom section though kind of falls into two categories. We have to build the steering shaft, which I think we already talked about. We got some sleeves and we did some lathe work and whatnot. So we have to build that, but we also have to modify the chassis. Because down by the steering rack, right where that lowermost U-joint wants to live, there's one of our uprights for our suspension is down there. So we're gonna have to notch that back in order to make clearance for our U-joint. It's not ideal. We are gonna lose a bit of strength in that chassis section, but we should be able to come back in later. Maybe we'll plate it in, throw in a cross member or something to build back up that rigidity in that area. For now though, I think we're just gonna trust in everything else holding the chassis together. In the meantime, cut into it with an angle grinder, cross our fingers, hope it works. So the plan for today is I wanna try to find a piece of pipe or something laying around here to make a kind of a curved section so that we can notch that chassis member, that upright, nice and curved, so it kind of curves around the U-joint, makes it look like it was kind of meant to be there. So I'm gonna kind of hunt around the shop here, find something that's gonna work, and then we'll just trace that shape onto that lower, or to the lower end of that upright, cut it out with an angle grinder and tack it in. So let's get at it.
Why do I feel like I linger between the words to say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your over your body and over your soul. Move to
right, we got our little ring cut. My saw needs a new blade in a real bad way, so I ended up hacksawing it off. And then we threw it on a lathe and kind of hogged out a little bit of material out of the ID. We took about 1/10 thou off the diameter. That'll just give us a little bit of extra room on the inside. It also pulls a little bit of weight out of this thing and cleans it up because it was kind of yucky on the inside. So our ring's ready. We sliced the chassis in half there. One of the steps you guys probably didn't see me do is before I cut that member out, I actually took a tape measure and measured from the top of this cross member down to the bottom of its kind of partner on the bottom frame rails. So that was 14 inches, so that when I cut this section out, if it is sagged at all, because that piece is gone, I got that jack under there and I can kind of jack it up a little bit, take up that slack, and we should keep all of our geometry at least semi the same. So we're all ready to weld this up. We'll spark up the welder and get it done. All right, we got the ring welded in there. It was kind of some weird tight welding positions, but we got it tacked in. I'm not gonna finish weld it until we pull the radiator out, because then I'll just have way more room in there, and I don't want to bother with that right now. So it seems like a good stopping point. It's like 35 degrees and 100% humidity in my shop, so I'm gonna call her quits for the day. Next week we're gonna be back. We're gonna weld together the lower section of the steering column and then build a bracket for this little like heim jointy support on the top. And then we're pretty much done the steering column. So we'll be able to stick a wheel on there and pretend like we're driving. So that's it for this week, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. You know the drill. Check us out on Instagram, Left Foot First Media, and we'll see you next week. I'm out of here.